Let's talk about our Coachella Valley, from lifestyle, beauty, food, fun, and much more. This is Desert Chat with your host, Sandy Newton.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Desert Chat. I'm Sandy Newton. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, each week we meet all the great people and businesses and nonprofits from around our valley and from around our table. First up, well, you know, even though it is winter, we still get plenty of beautiful sunshine in our beautiful desert, right? It's really one of the reasons that we locals love it here and why tourists from all around the world flock here. We love our fabulous blue skies and bright sunny days. And coincidentally, so does the technology of solar power, of course. And if you thought you knew all there was to know about this crucial technology, well, hold on. Our friends at Renova have some very important updates. Welcome to Desert Chat, Vince.
Thank you for having me.
Your first time on. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
And right off the bat, I want to ask a question because I know a lot of customers at an IID are curious.
Right.
Is it true Renova does not service IID?
The Imperial Irrigation District, IID, we had a problem with them in 2016. They really tried to stop the advancement of rooftop solar. And in the past year, we've met with them. We're helping them and their engineers understand solar and batteries. So no, it's no longer true. Renova Energy, as well as others, now service the open IID for rooftop solar.
So talk to us about the laws that are changing as it pertains to solar.
We had a change in what's called net metering, which is a relationship that a homeowner has with the utility. So the homeowner, as a power plant owner with solar, can generate electricity, and the overage would go into the grid, and the utility would pay a fair value. Well, the utility decided what fair means, and it is super unfair to homeowners, but that's okay, because we no longer need to use the utility grid, which we've paid for, but we no longer need to use it to store excess energy from solar. We can use a battery that's in your home, and it's safely in your garage or inside of your home, and that basically creates a microgrid. Your home generates electricity and stores it in the battery, and that's how we'll bypass any of the ridiculousness from the utilities.
Well, let's talk about that battery then. How do folks access and have that?
Oh, wonderful. We offer two types of batteries, one from a major national company called SunPower, and another from Tesla. It's a small startup. You probably haven't heard of it. And with those two batteries, you as a homeowner get a choice.
So tell us, what are those statistics since you came into the market?
So 2006 is when I began.
2006,
yeah, it's
wow.
crazy when I think about it. We're going into 18 years. When we began, the Valley, pardon me, had less than 100 solar systems. And now we have over 14,000 solar systems. And the United States had about a little less than 200,000 solar systems. And now, as of last month, we've just installed our 4 millionth solar system, and it just keeps rolling exponentially. By the end of this year, 2024, we will have 5 million solar systems in the United States on rooftops.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So tell our viewers where they can get more information.
Wonderful. They can quickly get to renovaenergy.com. They can call into our corporate line at 760-568-3413, or come by our corporate offices at 41555 Cook Street, so it's the corner of Cook and Hoveley in Palm Desert.
Great. Thanks for being part of our solar future.
Oh, wonderful. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Such great information. Thank you so much, Vince. Well, next up, speaking of important new technologies, one thing that never goes out of style or favor is just the basics of good customer service and good relationships. Our friend Michael Barnett knows how to get the most out of our professional connections, which in turn lead to more success in so many areas. And he says it's not only important for your client, it's really a win-win for everyone. Welcome to Desert Chat, Michael.
Thank you so much for having me, Sandy.
Yeah, a
Appreciate it.
longtime friend. It's so great to have you on our show. Happy to see you and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So you are a customer service expert. Tell us really, what is the current state of customer service?
Well, you know, recently they did a survey, and 80% of business leaders said that they believe they're delivering exceptional service. But then they interviewed their customers and only 8% agreed. And so that's kind of too big a difference for us not to really be thinking about that. And so I call that the great denial. So I think there's a lot of businesses are really unaware of the true level of service that they're providing. They think, well, it's acceptable because Yelp reviews are good or we don't get a lot of complaints, but acceptable service just doesn't produce exceptional results. Only exceptional service does that.
So you've got a couple of tips to share, right?
Yeah, so I think if we're really going to try to look at improving our service, we have to kind of embrace our reality. We have to start by looking and say, okay, what's the service acuity of our employees, our team members? What are they able to do? What are they not able to do? And oftentimes you need to bring in a consultant or bring in somebody to really help give those assessments. So we like to help with that. And a tip that I would give, where do we start? What do we do? I would say, we take a page from Steve Jobs' playbook. A lesser known story about him is he was trying to lure away John Scully, the president of Pepsi, to join a young Apple company startup, and he wasn't going to do it because he was the president of Pepsi until he was told this by Steve Jobs. He said, are you going to spend your life making sugar water, or are you going to come with me and change the world? So he gave him a mission beyond the paycheck. And so I think any organization, regardless of size, can look and say, how can we help our team members see the mission beyond the paycheck that we're giving them? And so those organizations that are doing that seem to be doing well in retaining more employees and acquiring and retaining more customers as well. So can have that kind of impact.
Yeah, that's a great story to share. Thank you. So where can our viewers get a hold of you for this great consultation?
Then go to sixsidedservice.com or just email me, michael@sixsidedservice.com. And love to have those conversations. It's about putting together a strategy. That would probably be my second tip is, make sure you have a mission beyond the paycheck, but also create a strategy so from beginning to end what you're looking for, what the service deficiencies are, and let's take a look at that together. And I'd love to help folks do that.
Great. Well, great success story. Thanks so much,
Great.
Michael.
Thank you.
Such important information to share. Thank you so much, Mike. Don't go away. When we come back, our favorite legal eagle talks to us about New Year's updates, and we go back in time to the beginning with our good friend Raju from El Paseo Jewelers. Stay with us. Welcome back to Desert Chat. Well, believe it or not, every week since week 1, when we first debuted Desert Chat back in September of 2022, our good friend Raju Mehta from El Paseo Jewelers has been on our show bringing the most spectacular gems and diamonds and schooling us on the backgrounds and history of all of that bling. And we are really so grateful for his loyalty and support of our little show. Well, today he's not talking jewelry. He's going to school us on his background, and it's very interesting. This week, Raju, we're going to take a little walk down memory lane with you. We're going to go back in time because you have had a very long history being involved with jewelry, diamonds, gems, ever since you were young.
Since I was 15 and a half year old. So this year it will be 50 years.
Oh my gosh.
So I was born in Kankroli in the state of Gujarat in 1959. From my father's side, I was the youngest of 10.
Wow.
And from my mother's side, I was youngest of 8.
Wow.
So then we went to Navsari, and those were one of the best 10 years of my life. And I did my high school there, and as soon as I did my high school, I was 15 years old. And my brother, who owns a diamond cutting factory there, he says, go work and sit in the factory in summer. So I started, and that's how I started at the age of 15, basically.
Wow.
Going there and looking at diamonds and try to learn cutting the diamonds.
So actually, you were actually cutting diamonds at 15?
Yeah.
Wow.
I started learning by 15 and a half, 16. I was already cutting diamonds. It was a very interesting period of my life. My father was getting older. I used to be always scared that my father will die any day. And then finally he passed in 1981, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You will our audience will see some pictures. And I was looking for these pictures and my eyes got numbed. So I only have one picture of my childhood.
Well, you are an adorable child, and you've grown up to be such a successful part of the industry, the jewelry industry, and a successful part of our community. And what a beautiful start you had. You know, so many siblings and a wonderful relationship with your dad. And then finally your brother pushing you gently into the diamond business.
Yeah, and you know, I was very close to my mother. Being youngest of all, I was probably favorite of her, which a lot of brothers and sisters didn't like, but you know, I don't care on that part.
The babies are always the favorite.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We really enjoyed this little walk down history lane. It's wonderful to see your beginnings. We're so proud of you. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Sandy.
What a fascinating and wonderful life, Raju. Congratulations on all of your success. We are really truly honored to have you as a weekly guest. Next up, well, another one of our regular Desert Chat family members, Legal Eagle Robert Firth, has some very important updates for us now that we're finally in 2024. Hey Rob, Happy New Year. So happy to have you here in the new year.
Happy New Year to you too, and I hope you've made all your resolutions and they all come true and you get everything done.
Thank you so much. I hope so too, and you as well.
Yeah,
well,
thank
you
you.
know, in December we had some great tips and our viewers love those, but we know you've got some additional tips that will really help them navigate as we start a brand new year.
Yes, and I'll be happy to go through those with you right now. So, with the exception of your married spouse, never ever put somebody else on the deed to your real estate as joint tenant. Or as tenant common. But joint tenant means that when you die, it automatically goes to the surviving joint tenant. Some people think that's a cheap, easy estate plan. Let me tell you why it's a disaster. First of all, if the person you put on as joint tenant ends up in financial difficulty and has to file bankruptcy, the bankruptcy trustee is going to take that property. Even worse, if you bought a property, say, 20 years ago and you paid $100,000 for it, and then 5 years ago you put into joint tenancy with a child. Oh, this will be an easy way for it to go to the child when I die. The child gets your basis in the property, meaning, and the basis is what the value of the property was when you purchased it for calculation of capital gains taxes. So when you die, you get a step up in basis, so it adjusts to the fair market value at the date of death. But if you put it in a joint tenancy, it doesn't step up, it stays the basis. So you'll have somebody who, you know, you put the property in joint tenancy, it's now worth $500,000. You pass away, the child goes to sell it, and they're paying capital gains on, you know, $400,000 of gain, which translates to about $100,000 of tax.
Wow.
So just a few tips for people when they're planning.
Few tips, and tell our viewers where they can get more information.
You can find me on my website, www.firthlaw.com. On there is a link if you want to, you know, send a question to me or something like that, or you want to schedule an appointment. My offices that were destroyed in Hurricane Hillary are now back operating wonderfully, and that is at 68910 Adelina Road in Cathedral City, basically at Date Palm and Vistacino.
Perfect. Well, we're so happy you're back in your new offices, and we'll see you next month.
Great. Look forward to it.
Much.
Thank you.
Such important and great information as always, Rob. Thanks so much. Well, don't go away. When we come back, we meet a local woman behind the American Association of University Women, and we visit our friend Jan, the Gadget Gal, at her kitchen store in Indian Wells. Stay with us. Welcome back to Desert Chat. Well, you know what? One of our most popular and requested segments are the ones from our good friend Jan, the Gadget Gal, from her fabulous kitchen store in Indian Wells. Let's visit Jan again for more amazing great tips and amazing gadgets. I am so excited, Jan. You know, I love you. I'm a big fan. I love Kitchen. I've been coming here for decades because since 1979.
Right, exactly.
And I love the fact that you really pick the most amazing gadgets, some of which I've never seen before.
Right. Well, I am the gadget gal, and I go to different seminars and do my gadget presentations. So I have a few of my favorites, okay?
Great.
Which is our #1 selling knife with the holes in it. It prevents the drag. When you cut soft cheese, it doesn't stick. But it also does paper thin, like cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, etc. And then there's a fork on the end to pick up whatever you've just sliced. Super awesome. I love this knife. Comes in a bunch of colors, so it's our #1 seller. Then another great seller is this mandolin, because it actually has a lock, so it will pull away the blade so you won't get sliced. You just take like a cucumber, go back and forth, and in a matter of seconds you have the julienne.
Wow.
And then you turn the switch over here for slice, and then again, in 3 seconds you have perfectly sliced, tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever it is.
Perfect.
But our #1 selling gadget is this guy right here. It's called the Xylus Chopper, and you just put all your ingredients inside, put your hand on the lid, and then give it a pull like a lawnmower. And in seconds, you have very chopped, diced, whether it be onion, no tears, you can make guacamole, salsa, etc. But of course, you need to add a little salt and pepper to your day. So we have the Phenom Mill, which is batter operated. You press the button. It's batter operated with the light. You can adjust the grind. It's ceramic, so you can do salt with that. But watch this. You ready? Give it a push. And then another push, pick up the next pod, and now you have your Himalayan pink salt. It does up to 50 to 60 different herbs and spices. So these are just a few of my favorite things. But we're at the coffee bar. We sell coffee. We have a coffee club. When you buy 10 pounds, you get a free pound. So that's kind of fun. We've been doing that from the beginning. And as you can see, we have every gadget known to man. We sell cookware. We sell all kinds of cutlery. Gadgets galore, of course, barware, bakeware, there's no stop to what we have.
That is fabulous. But you know what I really want to see that I haven't really experienced is your kitchen area.
Yes, come on in, let's go. Let's go.
Oh, this is amazing,
Isn't this
Jan.
great? Yeah.
I love it.
We're doing-
I have never been back here, but it's so impressive.
Isn't it great? I wanted to build it like a home kitchen, like someone's home, so that you feel comfortable in it, not like a classroom.
Right, and you do have classes here and parties.
Yes, and so tonight Chef Keiko is preparing for our 5 o'clock cooking
Hey,
class.
Chef.
Yes, so he's here. And the cooking parties are what are really fun, where you can customize your menu, as we talked about. Yeah, and so everyone sits around here. We have the monitors that they can look at close-ups of the camera, what's going on. And then, so there's not a bad seat in the house.
So they're really learning, and then they get to sample afterwards.
Exactly, and it's not just a sample, it's a full 4-course meal. And so we do pretty much every occasion here, so it's just a lot of fun. You should come and do one.
I will definitely do one. And I love that you have some wonderful gourmet food items here too.
Yeah, so we do a lot of gift baskets with gourmet foods, and we also, a lot of people don't know, is we sharpen knives, so you can shop while we sharpen. So bring your dull knives when you come in, and scissors too.
Love it so much. Thanks, Chef.
Thank you.
So much fun, and I love those gadgets, Jan. Great ideas as always. Thanks so much. And speaking of great ideas, have you ever thought of mentoring? Well, the National Association of American University Women have been mentoring and supporting young girls since 1882. That's right, 1882. And here locally, the Palm Springs chapter has been mentoring our young women since 1949. So this year they're going to celebrate 75 years in the Coachella Valley. And their outreach, especially with the STEM programs, has really been so important to our community. Let's meet one of the women behind the ultimate girl power. Well, welcome to Desert Chat. So happy to have you on. You know, I have been very well aware of AAUW, of course, the American Association of University Women.
Yes.
Founded in 1881 nationally, but here, 1949.
Yes.
So you are celebrating your 75th birthday anniversary.
We are.
This year. What a thrill.
It's exciting. It's really exciting. And our mission to advance gender equity for women and girls in the Coachella Valley and throughout the nation has been really successful with education and research, philanthropy. So we're just really excited about the programs that we're doing.
Well, let's talk about some of those programs because they're very, very impressive. Of course, your STEM camp and your STEM activities.
Yes.
And then you have a GovTruck, which teaches young women about
government and leadership, junior and seniors in high school. They go through a 10-week program that is set with leaders from all over the country, women leaders. So senators, we've had who speak to them, and then they have groups and they do missions, and it's wonderful.
It really is so impressive and so important for our valley. And you have a very robust group of women, don't you?
We do, and we are working diligently this year to raise $50,000. And last year we sent more than the biggest chapter in Southern California to the STEM camps. We sent 18 girls, and they went to UC San Diego and to Whittier College. It changes their lives. They come back and they're amazed at what they can do with themselves and their lives ahead.
Well, thank you for coming on and telling our viewers about AAUW, and here's to a great year of fundraising and a great year to empowering young women in the Coachella Valley.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for having us.
Such great work. Thank you so much, Kathy, and as we like to say, you go, girl. Well, now it's time for our weekly Spotlight 29 Desert Chat Entertainment Spotlight. Good news, Bill Maher will be live at Spotlight 29. Experience the sharp wit of this comedian on Saturday, June 1st. Tickets start at $45, and they're now available for purchase. And if you want to go for the win, you might just win a golf cart giveaway. Chance to win up to $1,000 in free play with 3 winners every 30 minutes. The grand prize drawing will be on January 27th at 11 p.m. for a brand new golf cart. And we also have a triple spin. You can celebrate Spotlight 29's 29th anniversary with a chance to win big. On the 29th of each month, all year long, one lucky winner is going to take home $29,000. Good luck.
Over 30 million records sold. One of rock's greatest, the Little River Band. Saturday, January 27th, 8 p.m. at the Spotlight Showroom inside the Spotlight 29 Casino in Coachella. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com.
Great stuff as always. And before we go, we'd like to shine a light on this week's Power of Community grant awarded by the Jordan Schnitzer Family Foundation in partnership with our Desert Sun. This week we award and celebrate all the great work our Palm Springs International Film Society does for the youth in our community. Filmmakers from all over the globe are invited to speak to local students during the film festival, and students are also invited to many of the film screenings and encouraged to have dialogues and even critique the films. Congratulations to Festival Director Lily Rodriguez and all of those involved in this now world-renowned nonprofit bringing the art of film to our beautiful valley. Well, that does it for this week's show. We love shining a light on all of the great people and businesses that make our valley a place like no other. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great week. And remember, please help one another and be kind. For Desert Chat, I'm Sandy Newton. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.